From Alaska, Grim After Dark. Starring John and Danny.
Tell me it'd be way better. But it isn't. Guys, the curtain's up. Wonderful. Thanks for the count-in. Guys, Games Workshop is failing. A new ranking system's come that's exploded onto the scene and also exploded the community. And you all continue to disappoint us day in and day out. Guys, my name is John. It's going to be pretty grim after dark. What is one thing all events should require that they don't require right now?
Oh, showers.
Low-hanging fruit there.
Dude, look, I'll grab it.
That's what she said.
I just want to see the poor judges. Can you imagine the LVO judge lane smelling armpits as people come in to double check that showers have been had?
They're doing like a hair swab to see if someone's washed their hair in the morning. Like, it's perfect.
In fairness, guys, even with a shower, if you're held up in a line for like 5 minutes, you're going to smell a bit by the time you get to the front of it there. That's a lot of time standing.
What are you doing in this lane that makes you sweat?
Yeah,
are you doing like jumping jacks? Are you like running in circles just waiting?
Just basic cardiovascular activity, you know?
Look,
Gotta keep
Get a
your
little
arms
mouth
up to
breathe
the line.
going on.
I'm not a healthy man. In fact, my moniker is the moist, is what people call me. That's what they say. I sweat a lot. And I don't sweat in line. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. What?
I was attempting to say that we're in terrible shape as a community and that we'd still be sweating by the end.
I mean, that's true. So is the worst thing that people can do before coming to a tournament is to not have exercise.
Here we go. We have Triceratops in chat letting us know Nova gave out deodorant in their bags. And if I could just throw this out here,
Nice.
maybe we could use our FLG connections to possibly have Grim After Dark branded deodorant.
That's great.
And some LVO high roller bags.
That is such an incredible idea. Let's go right out of the whiteboard, pal. Don't worry.
It never happened.
Of course, Joel Atkins reminding us of the GW scented candles are a thing. I forgot those were even a thing.
Games Workshop, right on the cusp of an actually like useful product, like GW branded deodorant, and instead went with the candle. Although odds are that I think some people in a pinch have probably at this point just rubbed that candle on their armpit in the hopes that it might make it work.
I guarantee they have.
It definitely makes the tournament smell nicer, but conversely, it makes it a lot more of a fire hazard.
One of them was like, wasn't one of them a Nurgle scented candle though?
Just to be clear here, I'm saying you don't light the candle and then rub it in your armpit. I'm saying like you just take the waxy candle and rub it in your
Well, hold on a minute.
I think
Don't
the
tell me what to
friction,
do.
just the friction there is probably going to rub off a bit.
The friction, the
talking about
moisture,
candles,
the heat,
right?
the lit candle. be great.
Well, as long as and this is my next terrible joke for the day that I just came with.
Going to you,
here.
Cam.
Oh, great.
They're going to release Warhammer branded wet wipes called Astartes.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Guys,
perfect.
there was a point update last week, and we dropped by the Art of War's Facebook page for details on all of the changes. And they let us know that they have to assume there's some changes in here somewhere. This was a contentious update. We didn't expect a points update to come. This points update dropped out of nowhere, and people were left to peer over a 56-page document with no perceived changes.
Now that the points are included digitally, one would hope that they would just have all of the points now, and then I think AOS does this. Don't they note when there's a point change on the actual document itself? Pretty sure they do it. Whereas in 40K, they're just like, yeah, just figure it out, guys.
There's 284 members of the design studio, and no one owns a highlighter.
Or just
no one approved the expense.
Like a non-freeware version of Microsoft Word would probably do the trick.
They use Google Docs. It's fine. Borglaughlan let us know in chat it's GW's new standalone game, Warcry, Necromunda, Blackstone Fortress, FAQ word search.
FAQ word search.
Perfect.
Which, by the way, just the entry price point for that game, really cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty affordable.
Warhammer Munitorum.
Please don't sell us that now. We like it being free. Lore Master Wade Price is moving on to pastures new, or pastures adjacent, as he leaves the Warhammer TV crew to become the lead writer for Warhammer 40k.
Oh, I loved Wade from their first forays into the podcast land. He used to do a little heads up podcast with various members of the design studio and folks who worked at Games Workshop, and he was a really cool interview, and he clearly really loved the game. So I'm really happy for him. I hope he's, as 40k's lead writer, he does some wild stuff that gets everyone really mad. I'm fingers crossed here.
I was going to say,
Guns blazing,
how long until the internet turns on him and blames everything wrong with 40k on him?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to be the next Matt Ward, right? Because that's exactly what happened.
Well, there will
it's
never
a dream
be
come true. I know that's what I've always wanted to be, is Matt Ward.
There will never be another, because they don't put their names on it anymore. So
No, they do
like
not.
my children's children will be able to recount the time that Wade Price ruined Chaos Demons forever, and kind of it just continues to move on. Circle of life.
Have you ever heard the tale of Wade Price? It's perfect.
He's going to have his own Wikipedia article. It's going to be great. No, he's going to do great. Very, very knowledgeable guy. If you guys haven't seen Lore Masters and Warhammer Plus, definitely check it out. He is very knowledgeable. I don't believe they have the budget for a ton of researchers for that show, so I think he does a lot of the work on that. I'll be interested to see moving forward how that does.
it's like our show.
Yeah,
Same
for
thing,
sure.
really.
Yeah. Can you believe someone actually puts effort into this? Because Val can't. Anyway. Seeing as everything's going to shit anyway, terrible conversions continue to be a thing. With this amazing slide of an Eldari army choosing to forego pants and tops only to wear gloves, helmets, and boots.
Like,
Thankfully,
really?
it's zoomed out enough and pixelated enough that you can't see anything.
Hey,
guys,
Val,
I have some questions.
Enhance. Yeah, the close-up is tits.
Yeah, I'm going to say that army's... No, yeah, you ruined it already. I took my glasses off. I was trying to see the boobies. Yeah, actually, this didn't even read to me as outlandish. I didn't realize that it was another fine example of inappropriate gamers putting titties on everything.
Titties. Thanks for the zoom.
As Scarface once said in the motion picture classic, Half Baked, "Yo, B, your titty."
Why, guys, do people continue to make these ridiculous armies?
I was just thinking, like, I don't know, like emotionally abusive parents. Like, they all have pants and arm armor and shoulder pads.
It's a really bad photo. Like, could you at least, like, DM me, like, something a little more salacious here?
Yeah, absolutely, I will. Go boy, get on that LVO art. The greatest STL ever created. It's a hot tub. It's a Space Marine hot tub. What other scenarios should we put Space Marines in?
Oh, man, there's so many.
So we have hot tub bros.
Yeah, keg stand. I got to see
good.
that.
Yeah, good.
I'd like to see Space Marine with shopping cart. Maybe like going through the grocery store, getting some, Soylent Green or whatever they eat.
I was thinking just like browsing the magazine rack.
Yeah, perfect.
Space Marines they strike me as guys who would still read magazines.
Yeah, sure. Or riding on
White
the
Dwarf.
elephant, which is just public transportation in the Space Marine city, like a bunch of guys on the bus, like just kind of sitting there. Maybe one of them's reading a newspaper.
I don't know why the idea of an elite fighting force of genetically modified, highly trained warriors bred only for destruction, riding the red line to get to work is just hilarious.
Sir, it's a
like-
Mark IV elephant. Please use the correct name for that vehicle.
It'd be awkward for a Space Marine on any form of public transportation, I would say.
Oh man, even better.
Do you think a Space
Val,
Marine would get a hot dog?
I enjoy them like just trying to like figure out how they like awkwardly try to get it through their helmet, like without taking it off.
Well,
only sergeants
if
can
they
can
did-
eat a hot dog.
Like, okay, but if they did eat a hot dog, would he gain all the memories of the different animals that made up that hot dog? So he like have like
He just
chicken
instantly
memories and a
passes
pig
out
memory.
because he's got like 55 lifetimes that just get uploaded to
Yeah,
his
dude.
brain. Just
Yeah, like
overloads.
52-year lifetimes of different animals, right? Like,
you have to be really careful about what you eat as a Space Marine.
Yeah.
'Cause
dude, not more than one of any kind of animal. Like turducken is straight off the menu for Space Marines. There's no
it's
way.
very traumatic
tur-
for them.
Yeah, it's too fast. The food is too fast.
What, guys, single piece of 40K technology would you in no way want to exist in real life?
I'm going Golden Throne with this one.
Yeah, I was just thinking that exact same thing. Like,
That's
to
a
be
bit-
honest,
I mean, as far as fuel goes, seems a bit unsustainable.
dude, it's a Holocaust engine.
Right? I mean, no one's really spelled it out quite that blatantly as you just did, but yeah, that's awful.
I mean,
it's even worse than when I thought of it.
Awful.
That is
Just
the
the
worst
worst.
description I've ever heard of it. But also
What?
the
That's
most
what it is.
accurate.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
you can
right,
be
but that's
accurate
not-
and the
still not
worst
cool.
description of something.
Yeah, I know
It's a-
it sucks, dude. It's a shitty thing to have.
Seems like Golden Throne, pretty popular choice. Yeah, it is one of the shittiest things ever thought of because
Yeah.
it is a Holocaust engine.
We shared a meme that Val and Danny believed was ironic, but was actually shared in absolute seriousness. It was of Darth Vader standing off against literal aliens to protect the integrity of 40K. This week, we have this one, which I believe was shared, which is the Emperor saying, only
Wow.
man will receive my seed. Guys, is this a serious or ironic defense of only male Space Marines?
A defense of only male Space Marines?
Yeah, because only men will
No, I
receive
don't
his
think
seed.
that's what this is. I think this is supposed to be ironic. Clearly, right?
It's more of a golden shower than a golden throne. Also gross.
Less lethal.
less lethal.
Well, Marines have acid
depends.
blood.
It's probably acidic.
Do they have acid pee?
I don't
stealing
believe
my
so.
memories with his pee.
Yeah, maybe
I'm-
maybe it's a sleep piss.
This feels like ironic. I'm going ironic.
You have to, right? Like, it's too absurd to really consider that a grown man would write this, right? Like, or create this. Maybe they're not. I guess it could be.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
They
okay.
did add tiny discs to above and below the kneecap of a Primaris Reaver to make it moderately taller.
Mm-hmm. So
It's amazing
true.
what
what's the
grown
reveal
men
here?
would do.
Is this in all seriousness? This
Yeah,
meme?
so
that
is
we-
this serious, John?
Oh, I don't know.
So you don't have an answer?
breaking news. This meme might be serious and might not. We don't know.
The Grim Dank subreddit is usually a place to freely share memes and Warhammer-related jokes. But this week it turned into a communist hellhole as they decreed that porn is not a meme.
I work for a living, and I mean real work, not writing down gobbledygook. I provide the people of this community with
Porn memes.
when I think of all my
Porn memes.
going to pay a bunch of little twig boy bureaucrats like you, it just makes me want to, oh God, it just...
Memetics is a very dense and complex field, and the most I know about it is
God.
that I can say the word memetic. Can porn be a meme?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, clearly it can be a meme.
To meme
John-
on a well-known internet meme, anything can be a meme if you're brave enough.
It's true.
Like
Even
a
porn.
golden throne, right, Danny?
I can think of like a golden throne.
moving on to this headline now, which is our last of the day. Games Workshop puts their paywall in reverse.
What?
Guys, what does this sentence mean?
I was trying to figure this out. This is actually what prompted me to
they-
start reading the investor report to try and maybe understand what this might have meant. Still working on it.
Are they paying people to like look at their stuff?
Yeah, you get paid to watch Warhammer Plus?
Yeah.
I could see
God, I
that.
wish.
That feels about right.
So what this actually means, and I think they might have misused a couple of terms, is they're talking about the fact that they let people know that the Leviathan weapon arms would be available separately later.
What?
What?
How's that a paywall in reverse?
Because the paywall of having to buy an entire another Leviathan Titan.
Leviathan Dreadnought.
No, Dreadnought. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in the Warhound Titan thing. But yes, I think this has got to be one of the most misleading headlines
What?
I think I've ever read.
God, what are they doing over there?
Getting me to click. Yeah, this is what they're doing. Yeah, let's move on. Let's investigate the
yours.
article a little bit here. And Val, I'm really happy you're here to help us out with this.
Working on
Because
it.
they say that in an age of shrinking profits and customer base, we have been ringing the warning bell for months. Any way you look at it, Games Workshop's current way of doing business is not only outdated, but it's also barely profitable at this point. When other companies like Wizards of the Coast are crushing with record profits by offering customers not only products that they want, but also products with value, GW really should take note. As an aside, Wizards of the Coast, fix your foil. Your recent runs have been really bad. I'm sorry you have record profits, but the foil and the wizard cards are just terrible. Val, with your expert finance mind, you wrote it on the whiteboard, so it's true.
I have a whiteboard, so clearly I'm a beautiful mind.
Yes, clearly.
Only I really want you to have like a room divider piece of glass you just write on with markers now. But are we in an age of shrinking profits customer base with warning bells ringing for Games Workshop?
I mean, as I mentioned, the report is 91 pages, which is actually super fascinating in its own right, because I might be wrong, but I feel like this is by far the biggest annual report they've ever done, which suggests to me that they're actually paying a lot more attention to governance, which is spooky and scary, and I don't know how that's possible. But nonetheless, no, absolutely not. Games Workshop is not tanking. Their stock actually rallied quite nicely on after this report. It wasn't doing so hot in recent months, much like a lot of the market. What has gone down? The only number that I can see that is a headline number that is lower than 2021 would be core operating profit. That probably just has to do with increases the cost of doing business, sunk costs into investments back into the business, things like that. Sorry, I took that dumb question seriously and tried to answer.
No,
it.
I love it because
I was expecting them to have. I was expecting them to have a backslide, not to have grown revenue at all, like over the last year, considering how many things messed up for them, and it didn't feel that exciting. I guess maybe I shouldn't have used my own personal feelings as a proxy for what other people think. But even if you look at their trade accounts, so that's like third parties that they sell to sell their games, that increased by 600 or 700 accounts. So it was a significant percentage increase in the total amount of people carrying their products that aren't Games Workshop stores. So like they've been increasing their employee amounts. I mean, we joked about the design studio, same as true as the manufacturing. They're increasing their manufacturing capacity every year. So there's nothing here that says to me that the company seems alarmingly unhealthy. Biggest thing to me too is that their licensing revenue continues to increase every single year. And throughout this document, the meme of Games Workshop, like when I first started paying attention to the company in like 2015, was that they were a miniatures company. They refer to themselves frequently now as an IP company, which again is terrifying that they would do that, because that is absolutely correct. They seem to understand. There's some warning signs here that they might understand their core value. They talk about how they've basically split the company from a corporate governance perspective into two halves. One would be their traditional core business, and the other one is licensing. So I suspect that means that their vision would be that half of the business is going to be licensed products, selling the IP. At least that's what that would say to me. And just core revenue, so that excludes licensing, is £386 million. So,
which is more
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
because I think we treated the audio-only listener a little too well the last couple minutes with Val's description, I did find this picture illustrating how terribly the company is doing, which is this graph here showing that profits continue to, I believe the blue bar increasing means that they're in trouble. Val, I think this is percentage of trouble the company is facing.
Well, that's
I
how
mean-
high the water is, John. They're going to drown.
I mean,
It's Warhammer World toilet water levels.
also, that doesn't even include this year's bar. So this year's bar is actually higher than that still. Interesting. But yeah, that's 2021 revenue. 2022 revenue goes to 386. So significant, like £100 million increase in revenue over 2020, which is wild. That's how Games Workshop was hilariously the #1 performing stock in the UK, actually, and at times in Europe for years, was because they weren't like growing revenue by a couple percentage points. They were like doubling every single year for a little stretch there from like, well, you can start to see it happening starting around 2016. I guess doubling is harsh, but very high multiple. So Games Workshop sure seems like a healthy company. I don't know that I haven't read this in extreme depth at all. I've only been able to really catch the headline stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. No, Matthew. Maybe he can come at us with his analysis, but it sure doesn't look. It looks like a company. Looks like a company that actually sort of gets itself more than I've ever seen it in writing before. So I'm actually kind of taken aback by this.
Terrifying. Danny, we've been very serious for the last couple of minutes. Did you want to round us out with some trademark Grim After
Boobies?
Dark humor?
No, not really, John. I don't really want to now. I've
Perfect.
been set into this somber mode. I don't know.
Like,
Val,
I started
that was
rattling
The
off the
somber
monotone.
mode of the company that we love that creates the game that we play is doing really well.
John, when we start talking super technical, like it tampers down my excitement.
I just want to say this, guys, that if Games Workshop ever got good at being Games Workshop, basically none of the things we like would ever exist.
Right.
Full stop.
This show, they're find way better people.
Like I find it hard to believe that a game as ridiculous and Byzantine as fucking Warhammer is could possibly exist if it was run by responsible business people. So it's the magic of Games Workshop, I think, is a lot of the bugs that are in fact features.
Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Val, for continually explaining the pictures. I can't talk now ever since someone corrected me. We will be back next Monday. And as always, it's pretty grim after dark.